Hi, Brian Dean with Caring Palms Massaging Reiki, and I want to talk about the glass. The age-old question, is the glass half empty, or is the glass half full? Of course, the joke answer is always, who cares, just needs more beer in it. But we all know that this is a test to see whether your outlook is one of optimism or pessimism. Are things going to get worse, or are things going to get better? And the wrench in the mechanism is always, we know it's going to get worse sometimes before it gets better. Sometimes it needs to drop down to a depth before it starts moving back up. But this takes in the question of what is your general outlook? What is your overall feeling? What drives your mood and triggers your well-being? That's right, well-being. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Wellness depends on a lot of things. The amount of exercise you get, how much you eat, what you eat, are you in pain, are you suffering from an illness, what is your mental outlook? Okay, all these things affect it. Okay, if you're constantly in pain, well, then you're constantly in pain. But one of the things to know is that how we judge our situation also takes into account our outlook. I'm constantly in pain, that's bad. Doesn't necessarily have to be bad, doesn't necessarily have to be good, just has to be, it is. And if we accept that and stop judging it as bad, then we're on the right track to overcoming that, okay? So, but through this, a lot of people suffer from depression. And there are valid reasons for depression, okay? But the key is to manage them. Manage our outlook, manage how we look at things. I mean, a lot of people out there just trying to make do, just scraping by. And the truth is that even in doing that, you're keeping your head above water. That's a positive thing whether you know it or not. But if we see it and recognize it and know it's a positive thing, that's one step in a positive direction. Sometimes we say, well, can't get any worse. It can only get better. Well, yeah. Once we realize that and visualizing things getting better, we are now starting to pull out of the hole that we might be in. I mean, it can only get better. Okay, we may climb up out of that hole, we may slide back, but we keep climbing. We are getting ahead. I used to worry a lot. I used to worry about everything. My thought process chakra would be blocked like crazy because I'm constantly worrying about everything. Then I realized life is a journey. Why not enjoy the ride? That ride can be a peaceful walk through the wood. It can be a thrill ride where I'm gripping my knuckles and they're turning white and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. It can be trying to move my feet out of quicksand. Sometimes I'm stopping and smelling the roses, and other times I'm holding my nose as I'm climbing out of the dung heap. But in all situations, it's putting one foot in front of the other and keeping moving. If I don't do this, I succumb to the dark side. And we all know you want to stay away from the dark side. The Force has taught us this. A lot of times I felt like giving up. I felt no matter what I did, everything I did wasn't going to make a difference. It was all pointless. And then something said, try again. Now, doesn't mean I did the same exact thing hoping for a different outcome, because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. But I changed what I did. I changed my approach to it. I learned a different approach, a different path. You know, I used to just sit there and say, okay, I can't do it, and then I started looking at things, analyzing them, finding different ways around. What can I do to make things better? How can I approach this differently? And it's when you look at that and find that different approach that you realize you've conquered this problem. So, I mean, deep down, I reinvented the whole of the being that I consider me. Okay? Through that process, I let go of a lot of baggage. I got a new outlook on life, on things, on issues, on problems, on everything. Many of you may not know it. I used to be a computer programmer, writing computer code to solve problems. Well, I'm still solving problems as a massage therapist. It's just I'm solving them with people. And, I tell you, the feedback is an awful lot better when you make somebody happy, you take them out of pain, you make them realize that they have possibilities. Okay. My thoughts, my attitude changed. I used to get angry a lot. I used to get angry at everything. I can remember there being a hair trigger that, anything just broke that, and I was just off on a full rage. And I've stepped back from that. I've gained some new tools. I've gotten tools through meditation that allow me to see things as I'm going through them and to take that half step back that says, hey, don't go there. Okay? I remember one day I was here in the shop and I had this whole stack of papers in my hand and they slipped out of my hand and went all over the place and I started laughing. There's somebody sitting in the chair there looking at me, thought it was a really strange response. Why are you laughing? That seems kind of stupid. What would you rather have me do? Get angry? Throw things all over the place? What's the point in that? Just enjoy the moment. So I laughed about it. You need to learn to not take things so seriously. I'm not saying make everything a joke, because there are serious items. You don't want to belittle them into their nothing at all. You want to give them the honest time and consideration they need, but don't give them so much you get dragged over the edge into the abyss. You give them the time they need, and you solve them, and you move on, okay? Eventually, you rise above everything. And as you rise above it, you add hope. So the original question is the glass half empty or half full? Who cares? It needs to be filled. Now, how do you approach it and what you fill it with? That's the real question, and that's up to you. Take care. May light be with you.